All right, we bring it back to Gauteng now, Soweto to be exact, where we find a reporter, Mbalenhle Mthethwa, who's standing by for us with the very latest. Good evening, Mbalenhle. What or how has voting been proceeding where you are?
Well, in Soweto, voting proceeded with a few challenges here and there, and some of those challenges include scanners that are not working, which then delay the process or the waiting time that people spend in the queues before casting their ballots, and that was mostly the issue. But right now I'm joined by a young person. We know her father, or her late father, who was the mayor of the city of Johannesburg, the late Mbolenhle Mthethwa. She cast a vote for the first time, and we know that there have been many conversations surrounding the youth votes, and there have also been accusations of voter apathy coming particularly from those who are under the age of 35 years old and between 22 and 35, and accused of not being interested or not wanting to vote. You would have seen that there have been stories that have played out on the SABC News platform, where some young people said they don't see a reason as to why they should vote, and they don't believe that it will bring about any change in their lives. But today we have a completely different situation, where a young person has gone out and voted for the first time in honor of her late father, who is the former mayor of the city of Johannesburg, Mbolenhle Mthethwa. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us. How was your experience voting for the first time, as a first-time voter? I mean, you know, was the process easy? Was it seamless? How did you feel about it?
Voting today, I couldn't help but feel very empowered. It was also very exciting, because you always hear voting every 5 years. So I was very excited. Driving, my voting station was actually in Alex. So driving there on the highway, I just felt, I couldn't help but feel a sense of pride, like I am, doing this for my future. This is what my dad always wanted, following in his footsteps. Let's take action. This is my future. Let me grab hold of it and seize the opportunity. We are the youth. We need to make the change. We are the future.
It's interesting that you talk about the youth, and that you say that we are the youth, and the future is generally in your hands, and you are the future leaders of this country. But the youth has been accused of voter apathy. Do you think this is a fair criticism of young people?
100%. I mean, I even have a lot of friends who just came out yesterday and said, "Oh, I didn't register," and I'm like, "You didn't register? What do you mean you didn't register?" Yeah, so I 100% agree.
But why is that?
I think it's a thing of, I'm only one person and there's how many people in South Africa, so mine won't count. But it's like, we are the future. This is our future. If you want South Africa to have this, you need to go vote. You need to say, I'm here, and I want this in my country. I want my country to have this. Let's do it.
Okay.
And I think some of them are just like, it won't really matter, which is quite sad, in my opinion, because we're going to live in this country. Once our parents and our grandparents go, we're going to be left with this. So, yeah.
So what I hear you saying is that voting today is a vote for the future of, the future generation, and the kind of South Africa that you would like to see in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly. We know your late father as the mayor of the city of Johannesburg. You know him as a father. What would you say is the legacy that he left behind?
I think my dad, he was a man of action. He was also the person to be like, okay, this is my daughter, this is my son. I want them to have a safe South Africa, a good South Africa, a better South Africa than he had in his youth. And, I think he was working towards that. He took favor in like the elderly and the youth. His last birthday, if I recall, he spent it at an elderly home, taking care of them. And every year on his birthday, he would gift young girls at another high school in Alex pads every year on his birthday. So I think he was just a man of action, a man of integrity, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us. There you have it. That is Kutlwana Mwerane, who is a first-time voter, talking about young people and encouraging young people to go out and vote, and saying that part of the reason that young people do not vote is because they feel that their vote will not count, given that there's so many people are voting, and saying that the criticism that young people are the criticism of voter apathy among young people is accurate, and it is not misguided in any way, given that some of the people in her own circle did not register to vote because they did not see the need. But she says that a vote is a vote into the future and for the future, and the kind of future that people want to see for themselves. We are moving around, and we will be heading back to Soweto to also see how that process is unfolding. For now, though, it is back to you in studio.
A very interesting statement. A vote is a vote into the future. As she said that she is in fact voting for her future. Thank you very much for that reportage. That was SABC News reporter Mbalenhle Mthethwa out in Soweto.